Did you know that the state of your nervous system directly affects the quality of your marriage? You may not have seen this relationship directly, like the relationship of the nervous system to the quality of your marriage, but in this video, I'm going to show you how and what you can do to improve the state of your nervous system, what needs to happen to improve the state of your nervous system, and that will directly impact your marriage. So we don't necessarily ask, hey, what is the state of my nervous system before we enter a relationship? It never even dawns on us. But it's exactly that very thing. Your nervous system dictates how you show up as an individual inside a relationship, and that directly impacts that dynamic. So, hi everyone, my name is Meena Puri. I'm the author of the newly released my third book called The Relationship Illusion. If you don't have a copy, you can grab it on Amazon. And I help you heal the deeper patterns that affect your relationships, your leadership, your decisions, and your life. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So let's understand what is this thing, nervous system, that we continue to talk about. When we talk about somatic body, nervous system, it is the same thing. The imprints of your experiences are the energetic imprints. They are in your nervous system. So all of our life experiences are in our nervous system. So mostly what's in everybody's nervous system is all the experiences that we have yet to resolve, that we have not resolved. So when the nervous system is filled with all the past unresolved experiences, it actually has no space. That is why this whole state of being overwhelmed, and exactly the same reason why we kind of put a wall around the heart, because any more experience, any more negative experience, we simply cannot handle. And it's just really a true thing. So feeling overwhelmed is a true thing. It's not something that people are making up in their head. It's a felt experience in their body. When people just seek out isolation, or they just push you away, they just want to go hide in their corner, is because that is the way they are trying to regulate their nervous system. It regulates it temporarily. It's not a permanent relief. Another ways we regulate is do the breathing exercises, go for a walk, go in nature. All of these are temporary reliefs because it does not create more space in your nervous system. So when we walk into any situation where the nervous system is just plateaued, there's no more space left, we cannot really experience that, have that new experience of a relationship, marriage, or any other event or situation. We simply don't have the space. So now that the nervous system is filled with those energetic impressions of everything that is unresolved, how does that impact how we show up? So remember, the number one work or the task of the nervous system is to keep you safe. So it scans for safety. What brings it safety? In what it knows to be what is familiar. That's why we can continue to repeat the patterns, repeat the relationships, because they are familiar. They're not good for us, but that's not the question. The question is it safe? And familiarity brings safety. So we find ourselves in the same familiar circumstances, familiar reactions, familiar reality, day in, day out. Nothing changes, but you feel safe. So these two things, when you are inside a relationship dynamic, when there is a conflict, your nervous system already decides how to resolve that conflict before your mouth opens up. That's exactly why you knew exactly what you were going to say, what you really felt you wanted to say, but you ended up saying the same thing that has kept you safe for decades, and nothing has changed. And that really frustrates you because you know this is not right. You know what you have to say, but somehow your nervous system has already decided what is safe and it keeps the peace. It rather really watch every movement because it has become very familiar, and that's where the safety is. So your relationship does not change. We think, well, we'll just keep at it. We'll just stay really safe, stay really, really narrow, shrink our life so at least we are safe. But it doesn't end there. What you may not realize is that the state of the nervous system, that feeling of overwhelm, it's actually triggers the cortisol response, the stress hormone, because there's so much energy being vested in make sure that we don't put ourselves in situations that we actually cannot handle. And more, we're able to handle less and less. So our stress hormone, cortisol, is always on triggered. That creates inflammation and that creates chronic disease. That is the raw root of every chronic disease. So it's not just something that stays contained, but actually it begins to show up as chronic symptoms in your body. So if you are stuck inside a toxic relationship, inside a dynamic that you've been trying to get out of for a long time, and you know that it is hurting you, it is not good for you, but you continue to stay. And by the way, I have talked to so many women who are inside these type of dynamics. They have just resolved to the fact that they just can't do anything. They are so frightened. They are filled with fear. They continue to live their life, pivot from fear, expecting the worst thing. And also, they are afraid that what will happen to them because we are living in the present from what has happened in the past. We actually don't see any potential before us. We see darkness. We don't see what if everything turns out in your favor? What if you actually had the courage to say no to this toxic environment, to this toxic dynamic? What can actually open up for you? Because to entertain possibilities, positivity, it takes space for your nervous system in order to be able to see differently, to have a different perspective. There's simply no space. It's not visible to them. So they keep on repeating the same old thing. Now, this is not a small task, but I want to lay out some things for you. What is it that you need to do if you get overwhelmed really quickly? What do you need to do if you're constantly walking on eggshells for the sake of safety? And what do you need to do if you are inside a toxic dynamic for a very long time and you just can't even see any other way of being? Unfortunately, many people are not going to move, but here's my 2 cents, my attempt to give you some solutions, some hope that your situation can change. Yes, by all means, if you have methods of regulating your nervous system, which it means doing some breathing exercises, walking in nature, sipping a cup of tea, writing on a journal, talk to a confidant, a friend, continue to do them. But what really needs to happen is the experiences that are sitting in your nervous system, we need to transmute them, transform them. So the fear needs to be transmuted into love. Self-doubt needs to be transmuted into trust. So the continuous contraction has to be transmuted to expansion. So you have a balanced view. When we transmute the past experiences into their highest expression, the the energy is freed. When the energy is freed, there is space in your nervous system. That is the deeper healing work that I do, either with one-on-one in a mentorship setting, or you can also take a look at this upcoming 12-week program, which is specifically designed for women who are disappearing inside their marriage, and they don't know how to find their voice or boundaries, and they are not included in the marriage. So this program is designed for those women. It's a 12-week program. There's going to be a link here for you to apply for the program, and then we can see if it is a good fit. So that work of transmutation is what I call deeper healing work. Inside the 12-week program, we are going to be doing that work. That 12 weeks is a very somatic program. Every session is going to give you the exercises, the journal prompts, and the deeper processes, guided processes that I'm going to walk you through, so you actually experience the shift, not just think or talk about it. So what is next? So I don't want you to think deeper healing is really, really needed if you're in a constant state of anxiety, overwhelm, and it's affecting your digestion, it's affecting your sleep, and it's actually keeping you stuck inside the same dynamic. When you sign up, when you come and have a conversation with me, we will talk about many times women think that, oh my God, if I start doing the program, then how am I going to handle? That's exactly what the process is going to show you. You don't come prepared and already feeling ready. You come confused and overwhelmed. That's why you do the work, so you can get to the other side of it. So if you like to either work with me individually or you would like to apply for this program, both links for the calls are going to be in the description. Go ahead and click them. And I'm happy to speak with you. So in summary, what I want to point out that when you are stuck inside the dynamic or a marriage that you are not happy inside, you really want to draw the attention to you. How does it feel for you to be inside? How you are repeating the same patterns, which is very evident because day after day, the relationship reality has not changed. So when you shift from the overwhelmed nervous system, so the nervous system that is healthy and it has capacity, you change. When you change, the relationship changes. So the focus and the fear should not be, oh my God, my relationship, my marriage. Your focus needs to be, how do I save myself inside this marriage? So that's the deeper work that is available to you. If you would like to join me, go ahead and schedule that call, or share a comment as to where it is that you are stuck at the moment. If you think anyone else can benefit from this information, please share it with them. Again, don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe, and I will see you at the next video. Thank you so much. Take care.